episode of Café con Leche podcast. We are your hosts, Leslie Chacon and
Jeanette Lorenzo. Thank you so much for joining us and for listening.
So just give you a little bit of information on our podcast. I mean, everybody knows what a podcast is. We don't need to explain what a podcast is unless you're a Cuban parent, right?
Yeah, and then you get un podcast. ¿Qué es un podcast?
My mom asked me that all the time. ¿Qué tú estás haciendo? ¿Qué es lo que es eso? Like, well, it's kind of like a radio show, but not really. So I don't know how to explain it.
Estás inventando algo.
And now it's like I can't really show her the episode because, you can't
see it. I can't see it. Where is it?
That, but I know the other day I was like editing and she comes over. She's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, estoy.
Estoy.
So from Que Pasa USA. Yeah. And she comes over to my screen and she's like, pero no hay nada. And it was like just a little.
But that's the best because that's when they walk away and they leave you alone.
Yeah. So I can't really we both, we're both Cuban, so we both speak Spanish, but this will be in Spanglish, and some episodes will probably be just in Spanish. But for the most part, there's going to be in English. So I can't really tell her or, have her listen because she won't really understand what it's about. So, which is a good thing in some ways because some episodes are going to be a little bit risque. And for the Hispanic culture, we're not that open with our parents when it comes to that. It's like, no.
No, like I don't want my mother knowing,
what's
going on behind the scenes.
You don't want your mother to know
like,
what.
Ma, what are you doing here? What do you want?
So anyway, like we said, I'm Leslie Chacon and we have Jeanette Lorenzo, and we are both, we're both in our 40s, early 40s and late 40s, and I'm a single woman living in New York. I'm in New York, in Miami.
Ooh,
and Jeanette is from New York.
I'm from New York. There's a sign there. I don't know what it is. Something's manifesting.
Maybe. And Jeanette is a single mom to a beautiful 9-year-old little girl. It's a little bit, different where we are in our lives, I guess, but we are both singles. Maybe with this podcast, who knows? Maybe we'll meet our. Jeanette's looking at me like, what?
Oh my God. I'm still thinking single, just in a better place financially.
So we're both paralegals. I guess Jeanette is a former paralegal, or she's currently taking a hiatus.
I'm on hiatus.
Well, we said everybody knows what a podcast is. So usually they focus on one theme, whether it's health or whether it's life and inspiration and relationships and dating or whatever. Ours is not going to be stuck in one theme. We're going to talk about everything from being Hispanic to living in Miami to the stuff that's there to do in Miami and food and sex and life, love, liberty, and café con leche. So our first episode is called Pa Fuera, Pa la Calle.
Or don't leave me, please.
This is what our Hispanic parents probably will tell their Cuban, their kids, like, don't leave me. Why
as
you
they're
wanna
grabbing
leave
your ankles
me?
And dragging themselves on the
Yeah.
floor, crying, giving you the guilt trip.
Yeah. So we're like a little bit different. I'm 42 years old. I don't know if I'm proud to say that I am.
Do not divulge your real age on air.
I should have said the age group instead of, like 30,
Yes, because
35.
I will not be telling you my age.
35 to 44 year range. But it's, I guess not typical, or maybe it is typical of the Hispanic culture. I still live with my parents, like, dun, dun, dun. Maybe not 100% by choice, but it is what it is. But so we're a little bit different. Like I still live with my parents, but Jeanette is a single mom and she lives with her little girl. And you've been living on your own for a long time, right? Like when did you escape?
I escaped from Hispanic trash.
Cuban trash.
Cuban trash. I escaped. I think I was about, how old was I? I was planning my escape since I was like 16.
But your plan came together.
And then my plan came together when I was in college, I want to say. So maybe 18, 19.
That's really young for like Hispanic, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Because I couldn't anymore. I was like, I desperately need a spoon and a plan to like carve my way out of here. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so I rented on my own. My family decided to move to Florida,
Florida.
and
But wait, you stayed in New York by yourself and then
I did, yeah, because my
oh,
my mom and my siblings decided to come here, and I was still in college.
I didn't know that about you. Is
Yeah.
that why you moved out on your own? It was kind of like by
No,
default type of thing or
no,
no? I
no.
mean, I
I
know
just
you
needed to escape.
okay, but you wanted to do it before, but is that way eventually the plan came to fruition because you had to stay behind basically because you were in
Well,
college
no,
and
because when I was in college, my mom decided that she was going to move to Florida.
so you were already in
And I
college.
was not ready to leave. I had my friends, I had my life really in New York, and I was dating someone that, I
It
wasn't,
was serious.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
serious, and I wasn't ready to just leave all that and come to the land of oranges. Wasn't ready to leave my Big Apple. And I stayed, and then so I lived on my own for a while. I've been living on my own actually since then. And then fast forward to like maybe 15 years after, I came to Florida to live, and then I had to live with them. That was
So you were living by yourself? I mean, without your like immediate family for 15 years?
I was by myself in New York. I want to say 12 plus years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
And then I came here.
But did your parents support your decision to move out? Or were they like, what?
Well,
Soltaron el grito. You know how that goes.
yeah, no. Well, my parents are divorced. So
Okay.
I only had to deal with my mom, which is enough for the record.
Which makes for
Yeah.
more than two of them.
So that, yes. Oh my God. God help us. My mother basically was not happy.
Was she not happy or was she like, what are you doing? Because,
Yeah, she was
there's
really
a double
offended.
standard, when it comes to like girls and boys. Let's, in the Hispanic culture, like for sure.
She was extremely offended.
Yeah. Like if it's a guy, it's like, whatever, mi niño, pero bueno, he's moving out with like 15 other kids because, they can pay the rent. So God bless him. He's doing it. He's making it work.
No, unless he moves out with a girl, then that's
Well,
it.
no,
It's
that's
over.
that's a different thing.
You're
That's it.
betraying
Yeah.
your mother, your father, and El Espíritu Santo. Amen.
But for the most part, like when it's like a single kid, because American kids, they have it easy. Easy in a way, but I guess you are like expected. Like when you're 18, it's over. Like you
they
are
encourage
out.
going away to school. Like,
Yeah.
aren't you going to apply to a college out of state? Like several of them?
Yeah. Or
Shouldn't they all
or
be
out
out
of
of
the
state?
country. Like, don't you want to do a semester abroad? Because
Like forever?
yeah, and American parents are like have been training the kids like with like what is it, like sleepaway camp and
Oh my
everything.
goodness.
You know,
Sleepaway camp. Have you ever done a
sleepovers.
sleepaway camp?
No. I mean, I came when I was like
I don't even think my mother knows what the hell a sleepaway camp
hell.
is.
I was like 11 when I got here, so I was like that was not happening. I didn't even do a sleepover until I was like in high school.
Yeah,
that I
was
remember.
19 years old when
Yeah.
my mother let me sleep out of the house. That's pathetic.
Yeah, it's
19,
not.
and even that had
No, and
its
it was like if I
limitations.
know the other
Yes.
person's, whatever, if I know like the mom and the dad, especially if there's no dad, that's preferred,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Or like an older brother, or if it's just women, that's fine.
And then you get 20 questions about the house. And like, okay, so who's there?
Who's gonna be there? I need the phone number.
Where are you sleeping?
Yeah. Who's
And
staying over?
How many doors are in the house? Because I need to know all exit and entrance points.
Yeah. I mean, it's not happening. Sleepaway camp, that doesn't exist. That's like, what? No, you're not doing that.
I know. I was like, when I was 19, I'm like, Ma, I'm 19.
Yeah.
I can't sleep at my friend's house. Because before that, it was all, well, I don't know these people and I have to meet them and you're not allowed to sleep out of the house. If you want to sleep over, you tell them to come here.
Yeah.
And, like that.
And co-ed, forget it. What do you mean, a boy? No, that's not happening.
Where my brother, who was the last one of the four of us,
Who escaped?
dude, he was like, I'm like, where's my brother? Oh, I don't know. He slept at his friend's house. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That kid's 13. I'm like, what the hell?
Well, you were the oldest, you were the first,
I'm
and
the
you were the
oldest,
girl. So
yeah.
it's like, forget it.
Double whammy.
You got shanked for sure. I mean, for me, it's just me and my sister. But I think by the time I got to like, go out or whatever, it was like I don't really remember a curfew. It was just like, whatever. I was just exhausted. Like,
No, I had a
I
curfew.
didn't really care.
I had a curfew. And I was late once for my curfew. Oh my God, that was so scary.
No, I think I might.
My mother was sleeping in my bed. It was like one of those like.
Oh my God, there was
scary
no
movie
getting
scaries.
around. Yeah, because there was
Yeah.
no way of sneaking in or anything. Oh
I was
man,
mortified.
that's how Cuban parents do it.
Freaking mortified. I'm going up the stairs and I'm thinking, oh yeah,
You got away with it.
I made it. And then I look over at my bed and I'm about to get in my bed,
Freaky.
and she pulls the covers and she's like, "What are you doing? Getting home at 6 in the morning?"
6 in the morning.
Yeah.
What was your curfew?
I
12.
think 12. I missed it by a few hours.
You definitely blew it by a few hours for sure.
No, it was so innocent. I swear. To this day, I have the same
Story.
I'm sticking to my story, people. Yeah, because it's true. I fell asleep at my boyfriend's house. Yeah.
Oh my God. With
His
him on top
parents
of
were
you,
there.
or
No. His parents were there. We fell asleep on the couch watching television, both of us. And I mean, I don't know what his parents were thinking. Like, why would you not wake me up?
Yeah.
You know that I have to go home.
Yeah.
But whatever.
So anyway, going back to like the double standard thing, I think there's definitely a double standard. Like for guys and girls in the Hispanic culture, it's like the guys are like, well, the girls, let's start with the girls. The girls are like the pure, that we got to keep her pure. And, she's like our angel and nothing, she can do any wrong, pero también es like la cuidan demasiado, I think. And then for the guys, it's like, no, he needs to go and experience and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, who are they going to experience? It's not like
The girl that's jumping out the window
your
at
girl,
night.
with your daughter. Yeah. It's like there's definitely a double standard. But when it comes to moving out, like I was saying, for the guy, it's like, whatever, it's his age, como que ya, he needs to start, because I think it does look kind of like if a guy's still living at home after when he's like in his 20s. That's kind of
How
sounds
about when
like
you date a guy and he's still living at home?
Yeah.
And he's like 40 something.
That's
Or 30 something.
yeah.
Like, you need to move.
Like I guess there's
Unless your parents are
reasons?
sick or financially unable.
or something happened to you. Maybe I don't know. You're in like in between or something. But
I think the Spanish mother's always hoping that something happened to the son,
Oh,
that
like
he moves
100.
back home. Right.
yeah, and they have the room. When they move out, that room is not going to be touched.
Especially the boy.
Yeah, like when the boy moves out, like
yeah,
este es el cuarto Robertico. Like nobody's gonna touch
the
that.
mother's desperately doing brujeria, sticking somebody in the freezer.
They have a little
hoping
voodoo.
that
I have a little voodoo doll.
hoping that he comes back. She's lighting candles, on a little repisa.
The little shrine with a little picture of her little boy to come back home like any minute. Y cuando vuelve, I get to watch like his dirty underwear or whatever. It's like
It's so gross.
it's so freaking like Oedipus shit there. Some I don't know, some Shakespearean thing there. Like there's something wrong. But if it's a girl that moves out, that's a different story. That is like 6 o'clock news worthy.
Yeah, you didn't move out, you left.
La niña se fue.
Me dejaste sola.
La niña se fue de la casa.
It's like novela shit.
And it's like, it doesn't matter like how, well, first of all, a girl leaving the Hispanic culture, like, and then the house, she's going to be, I mean, how old do you think she's going to be? Like, I don't know, 30, 50, I don't know. Because it's just not going to happen when they're like teenagers. Like the American kids have it easier in that way. It's like, okay, good for her. She's independent and whatever. Mm-hmm. That doesn't fly in the Hispanic culture. First of all, if you move out, if you're a girl and you move out and you're like in your teens, which is not going to happen, number one. But if it does, it's like even if you're not sexually active, it's like, it doesn't matter. It's like, forget it. You might as well just put the, I don't know, S scarlet letter for slut and just wear it proudly because that's what everybody, I think, will speculate.
Yeah, it's a scandal for sure. When I left my house, my mother was devastated. She was so insulted. It was as if she took it so personal that she was mad at me.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to talk to me for a while. And then everything was very on edge.
Yeah, they don't see it as
An
I
expansion.
raised an independent daughter. Like she can, you know, se puede valer por sí misma. Like she has a job, she has her shit together. They don't see it like that. They see it like it's a personal attack on them. Like, what did I do?
Yeah, it definitely.
What did I do that you had to leave? Like, did I make it, you know? No,
viewed
no
as
te cociné.
a betrayal. Yeah, it's
yeah.
a betrayal, which is a little weird, but whatever, because they do raise you. Well, at least I thought I was raised where I was supposed to be very independent. And I think as the first child, you just have that in you because you have so much responsibility. And then
That you want to get out.
and then you want to get out.
You want to break free.
and not only that, it's like, you know, when you're raised, I think too, by a single parent, you're raised differently. You're just, I don't know, it's
you have a lot of responsibility.
Yeah,
period.
you have to help more. You have to take care of your siblings. You have to learn faster, how to grow up faster, I guess. And so when that happened and I did it, she was like very taken aback.
Because she probably felt like, you know, she was losing her support system in a way. But in a way, it's like you wanted to carve out your little freedom, your little space, your little... Because you had been...
Get out.
Get out.
Get out. Save yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think all kids are different too. And it depends on the type of personality that you have. There's a lot of people that I know that are older they just don't want to leave their parents' house.
Well, that's not me.
I
mean, that's not my reasoning. I do want to.
It's like Sangano shit. It's like, get out.
No.
What is that?
No, I don't agree with that. But I think when the girl leaves the house, is like, forget about, you know, like 6 o'clock world news. Like the whole family will be like, oh my God, pero qué le pasó a fulanita que se fue de la casa? ¿Qué hizo? ¿Qué pasó? And they will like not only think that you're now sexually active, but it has to do with like a boy. Maybe you're leaving with a boy. Maybe something happened with a boy. Maybe you're pregnant. Who knows? Maybe that's why you're leaving.
It's always the guy. It's always the guy's fault.
Y vamos a prender una velita. Y vamos a rezar al santo. I don't know, whatever.
I don't know. I would think all the santos at that
all
point.
All the santos, yeah. You would definitely have a vigil every night until she comes back. And believe me, 99% of the time, you will come back.
Well, I had to go back because, you know, I didn't have anywhere, I guess, to live here. And I didn't really know Miami.
Well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. How long did you live with them when you got to Miami, the land of oranges?
I think I lasted... My expiration
You
date,
made it.
Yeah, my expiration date was, I think it was a year.
Well, that's a long time. You survived for a year.
That was a long time. It felt like forever.
Well, that's how long. Okay, so you lived with them for a year. That's how long I lived on my own. When I made my first exodus out of my parents' house, that was like for a year. I don't know what they did some voodoo shit for sure, and I came back after a year.
Yeah.
But I remember when I moved out, my paternal grandmother, who I didn't really grow up with her. Like Cuba, she left, oh my God, like in I think 1959 or 1960. So she didn't even see me grow up or anything like that. And she had some strong words for me. Like she said that, like, how could I like leave my parents and whatnot? And at that point I was like, I think in my 20s, like late 20s.
Is this your mom's mom?
My dad's mom. And it was like, I was like taken aback. It's like, what? Like, this is weird. I don't know why she had that reaction, but whatever. But I guess she did something because I came back after a year. Like, it didn't really last.
I wonder if, like, grandmother's voodoo has more power over, like, your mother's voodoo.
I don't know. Maybe they got together and did some voodoo shit together.
That was,
Who knows?
like, powerful voodoo shit.
Definitely. I'm telling you, it was like a year. But then, like, I have an apartment. Not much has changed, let me tell you, because I have an apartment in the beach and I'm thinking of moving there. And I tell my parents, like, I'm going to move there and you guys can come visit me, like, on the weekend, you know, like Saturday and Sunday. My dad's like, It's like the Godfathers, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
You sound like the Count
It's like,
from what is it, Sesame Street? The Count.
yeah, it's like it's just gonna be like an address change. It's it's gonna be the same. They're gonna be going there. It's like, oh my God,
Well, I don't know.
I can't get away.
I don't know what's better, that or my situation. So I live. Would you say it's 20 minutes
From where?
from my mom and my sister
Probably, I would say a little
without
bit.
traffic?
Well, there's no such thing.
Well, I mean, it depends on the time of day. But anyway,
Okay.
so let's say 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So they seldom come here because they say I live too far. I'm like, what?
Keep it that way.
Which I guess it's good. Yeah. And then if I don't go over there, they're like, well, you haven't been here in a while. Well, excuse me, lady. The distance is the same. Whether you come here or I go
True.
there.
Well, my sister doesn't live with us, and she lives like it's a little bit further. It's like I would say like at least 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, and they're constantly like my sister comes often, like a lot, like she drives a lot, but they're always like not guilting her, but it's always like they're worried that she lives so far away. Like my sister's older than me,
It's
and
not
they're
really
still
that
like,
far.
my God, if something happens to her, she's so far away. They're always like constantly worried about that. Whenever she leaves, like we're together, and when she leaves, she goes back home. She has to call when she gets home to make sure that she made it all right. So anyway, like I guess it's not that abnormally now because a lot of kids are moving back with their parents after college. Before it was like a that's not happening. Forget it. Like after you finish college, if you went back home, your room did not exist anymore. That was a gym, that was like an office, a guest room, you name it. Like it wasn't your room anymore. But now a lot of kids, like based on statistics, like 50% of millennials that are out of college are moving back with their parents. I mean, that's a big number. That's a big jump. But I think rent is freaking expensive. And Miami's expensive as fuck, people.
Yeah, but I
Like-
think I think there's a lot of enabling going on. I think
Yeah.
deep down the parents want the kids to move back.
Yeah.
Maybe not all of them, but a
That
good
empty nest
majority.
syndrome is
Yeah.
a serious, huh?
And then the kids are like, hey, I haven't made in the shade here. I'm going home. My mom is going to cook for me,
Do my laundry.
clean my room, make my bed as soon as I jump out of my bed. Oh my God, my mother used to do that to me. I was like, what the hell are you doing? I didn't even fully wake up yet. What are you doing? And that's when I moved back from New York. I would get up and I had a room where I had a bathroom within my room. And as soon as I came out of the bathroom, it's like my bed was already made. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And she's like, ay, no, yo pensé que ya te habías levantado. I'm like, God, lady. I was like, I know. I was dumbfounded. I was like, oh my God.
How to
this
make my
is
bed.
so weird. You don't make your bed?
No.
Ever?
Rarely. That's number one. I don't have the time.
Kathy, that's so bad.
Number two is
You
like,
need
what's the
to
point?
you need to start your day off right. You need to make your bed.
It's either the bed or me. So I rather make myself look good than
No,
the bed.
we must change for 2019. Make your bed.
You gotta do both. Yeah. So right now, a lot of people are moving back in. I know people like it's just happening a lot, like more and more these days, and it's just finances are not great. And in Miami, if you want to have like there's a lot of things that you want to do. Like you gotta like have a social life, and you gotta go out, and you gotta like look a certain way, and drive a certain car, maybe, or go out to the certain hotspots to meet whatever, and everything's expensive.
You will get whatever.
I mean,
There's a lot of whatevers out there.
there's a lot of whatevers out there, but that's just what's happening in Miami. At least, I don't know what's happening in your city, but in your neck of the woods, but over here, it's expensive.
That's why I have so many people rooming. They
Yeah.
get together and
Yeah, yeah.
they have plenty of roommates, or 2, 3, 4 roommates, and they
Yeah.
rent a place, and then
Even when it's like
You
a
know.
1-bedroom apartment, they turn like the living room, whatever, like they put like a little one of those divider thingies. I forget what they're called.
a divider.
And thank you, Jay. Thank you.
A divider.
And they turn it into like another bedroom. It's like they can't help it. But anyway, you have a little girl. How would you react when, not if, but most likely when that time comes?
So when she was a lot younger, she used to say, "Mom, I'm gonna live with you forever."
Uh-oh.
And then I was like, "Oh my god." Then I said, "Okay,
You're
well,
already thinking of the voodoo shit, like, what
yeah,
can I do when she turns, this age? You already have plans for her room. What was you going to turn her
yes,
room into?
no,
Like,
a meditation room,
there goes my meditation
serenity."
room, damn it.
So then I said, let me think this over.
Let me
Let me break it
clarify.
down. Let me break it down. And then I said, okay, let me ask her what she thinks forever is. And she's like, when I'm 28, I'm gonna move out.
Still too long.
Yeah. And then I said, okay, well, 28 is not that bad. I was like, okay, that's great. Wonderful. 28. We got a plan.
Yeah, that's now. She's 9.
Yeah.
So ask her, like, when she's like 12, she's like, 15. It's my cutoff time.
No, she's like a little bit of a weird bird. I don't know. She's like, okay, and then, fast forward, she's getting older and whatever. She's like, I'm never leaving. And then I said, okay.
Oh, God.
So she knows what the word never means. So I'm like, okay. Yeah, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, in the month of Nebuary. Okay.
And you
So-
have a deficiency. So you were like, oh, God, there's like too many options here for her to
Yes.
stay.
And for those of you who don't know what an efficiency is,
Effice.
un effice, it's whatever room you have in your house that you want to rent out to somebody. I don't know.
Garage or whatever.
Yeah. So anyway, then, as she's getting a little bit older, she's like, well, Mom, I want to go to the U University. And I'm like, okay.
The what?
The U University.
What is that?
The UM. So I'm like, this kid's never leaving. I was like, and I say to her, don't you want to go away to college and like experience something, like new and exciting?
Mm-hmm.
No, Mom, I want to go to U. Okay.
Well, there's dorms.
Yeah. Then she sees FIU, she's like, what is
There's
that?
also dorms.
What is that? And I'm like, that's a university. She's like, oh, so there's 2. I could go to 2. And I'm like, yes, you could go to,
You're like, damn
you
it.
could go to a lot more other ones that are not in the state of Florida.
Yeah, I'm sure you think about that now when they're like,
But
time
that's
to.
not true. I mean, I'm sure if my daughter ever decides to go away to college, I would be crying. I would
Yeah.
be sad, but I would be
You will be doing
happy.
the voodoo shit for her to come back.
No, I would be happy. I really would. I always wanted to go away to college, and I never had a chance to do that because my mother was like, you can't because you're going to die.
They're going to rape
Somebody's
you.
going to kill you. Oh, my God. There's so much war going on in the world.
I remember when my sister was college age, she wanted to go. Is that FSU, the Gainesville? Is that Gainesville? Remember?
so.
Remember that what happened like in the 90s that they were killing people like on campus?
goodness.
They were like, yeah, like in Gainesville, there were like a couple of incidents. I think there were like girls walking like at nighttime or whatever. Do you remember?
Yes. I
So my mom
remember
was
that.
like, negative, you're not going anywhere. That was like, damn it.
Yeah, no. One thing
So she
happens
stayed.
and that's it. It's like, forget it. And then I remember, too, I wanted to study abroad for a
Oh,
semester.
that's not happening for the Cuban Hispanic culture. That's not happening.
My-
At least Cubans, like, no.
Yeah, my mother almost died.
Yeah.
Are you crazy? And there was a lot of
Going to like Italy 6
Yeah.
months by yourself, you are nuts. That's not happening.
and it just so happened that it was in Italy and somewhere else.
I wanted to do
I wanna
that too,
say
but that was like,
Spain or something. I don't know, but there were some war issues going on with
Oh, wow.
Iran and Iraq at the time, and she was just having a cow, and she would tell me, "Please don't leave. You're gonna die." Everything was you're gonna
they're
die.
gonna kill you.
Yeah. It's no wonder I'm so traumatized all the time where I'm like, oh, don't do this, you're going to die. Don't do that, you're going to die. It's like,
I think it's a lot. I think that happens too when we're like, I don't know, we're considered like first generation immigrants or whatever. Cause
tortured.
yeah, I don't think because we are immigrants ourselves. So it's like it's impossible. Like maybe you with your own daughter, like you will be different. And Lauren, when she has her own kids, she will be different.
No offense to any Hispanic parents because I'm Hispanic and I'm a parent, but we need to like leave that to the side and be a little more open, I think, with our kids and not. And I guess when they're old, like our parents, they can't help it.
Yeah.
But
No, but I think it's too like they came. I mean, they were new to this country. Like it's a new country. I mean, yeah, we're lucky that they speak basically your language here, but it's
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Like if I were to take my kid to like another country, even like France or Italy or whatever, I would probably be like, no, you're not going to do this and that because I don't know how things are done here. Like I don't know.
Right.
So I understand it, but I think Cubans in general are like a lot more protective as well, you know, or Hispanics in general. I think they're more like
I
protective.
wonder if other Hispanic cultures are as protective as Cubans.
I don't know. I can only speak
I
for
think
hours, so
Cubans are a special
they take the
breed.
cake.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think they really are.
yeah. But this whole, you know, pa fuera pa la calle, like sometimes it goes like the other direction, like a little bit too aprovechado and the side of the kids. Because remember that thing about that guy? Where did he live? Like New York or something? That he was like in his 30s and still living in his parents' house, and his
I
parents had
don't
him
rem-
evicted.
I don't remember if it was in New York. Was it in Long Island, New
Maybe.
York? But that guy is just a piece of work, let me tell you.
Yeah, I think his name was like Michael. I mean, I guess it was.
Vividor.
Yeah, Descarao. I think his last name was Rotondo, if I remember
Oh, yes.
correctly.
Hmm.
But I don't. I mean, I guess the name is Hispanic, but I can't imagine a Hispanic parents. I mean, I guess they put up with it for a long time, but I don't think that would fly in the Cuban culture, especially with a son, with a boy, with a man.
Like you
I don't
gotta
know.
cough up some money and help and
Yeah,
be gracious. This guy,
yeah,
when his parents took him to court, he was given all sorts of excuses, and then on top of that, he wanted like a 6 month
yeah.
move out period and
He
not
wanted
help
like
them.
notice, like he wanted to be treated like a tenant, but dude, to be a tenant, you gotta pay, and you weren't paying. Like he had some issues. Like who knows what was going on in his life, but
And
I
he has a
think
kid too.
I think it was just like down on his luck. It was like something like he didn't have a job. He had a kid. He couldn't really see him. So probably, you know, a lot of depression. Who knows? But I think his parents kind of did the right thing to like have him face reality and make a change for your life.
Well, it's the tough love syndrome. You don't want to
Hmm.
help yourself. We're gonna help you. We're gonna toughen up. You
You
gotta
have
get
to.
out
Yeah.
and get it together.
I think that Hispanic parents, Cuban parents, I think would do that. I think I would totally do that. I would just rent an effice, an efficiency if I had to, for 3 months. Pack up your stuff and put it on the front lawn and like pick it up, and you know you have someplace to live for 3 months. You got 3 months to put your shit together because
Yeah.
otherwise they're gonna be just like smooching off of you forever, and it's just not good. It's just not. You can't let that go on too long. That's just not healthy. I don't think.
I wouldn't pay anything for, like, if my son was in his 30s, first of
Yeah.
all, you're not living in my house. Let's just get that straight. Unless you have like a dire emergency life event that,
Yeah.
and then, but you need to help yourself.
No,
You
absolutely.
can't
Yeah.
just be living in someone's
Yeah.
house and regardless of whether they're your parents or not, and then just be
And
a
there should
user.
always be like a time limit. If something happens, you're in the middle of the divorce, whatever. Okay, come here and live for like for 3 months and 6 months, whatever. Like get your shit together. If you're starting a business and maybe you need to like cut down expenses, like I get it. I mean, as a mom, you would do anything, but there's a limit. And when
Yeah.
I say like I live with my parents, like I mean I definitely help out financially, and I think pretty much every kid that lives in a Cuban household, like you have to contribute somehow. You
You
don't you
do.
don't really freeload, but
No, but I do know some freeloaders. But anyway, hopefully we're not
anyway.
raising freeloaders.
Yeah. So anyway, I think in the end, the nagging will continue and they will call us constantly and they will tell us, "Ya comiste, mija, mija comiste."
My God, how many times a day do you
Oh
talk
my
to your
God.
mother?
Well, I mean, I live with her now,
Or you
so
call her? Or she calls you?
yeah, yeah, every day. I mean, to this day, I'm like, if I'm gonna be 5 minutes late, I tell her where I am. It's just like nature.
My
I'm
mother,
just like used to it now.
I call her so many times. And then there's times that I've done experiments. And I'm like, let me see if I don't call her, how long it's going to take her to call me.
And she calls you or no?
So it's funny because when I lived in New York, I used to get so worked up, so twisted with myself. And I'm like, this lady never calls me. How come she's not calling me? And then that's when my experiments started, right? So I would wait. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to call her. And then weeks would pass. Unheard of. I was like, what is happening here? This is blasphemy. So it's like 2+ weeks once. And I picked up the phone. I'm like, oh, that's nice. You don't call your daughter.
And what did
So
she say?
it's like
"Hasta
reverse
vida."
psychology. No, actually, she says, I haven't called you because I know that you're good and everything's fine because you're responsible because, I was dating someone at the time that I lived with and he was a gem and she was okay. She's like, and I know you're with him and everything's fine and I'm like, what the hell? I was so upset. Well, fast forward, and then I
Reverse
live here.
psychology on you. That's what
Yeah.
she did.
And then now I'm living here, and it's like I call her, and then sometimes this is what I get. Dime, Yane. I was like, geez, don't sound so happy to hear from me, lady.
Yeah.
And then she calls me 100,000 times. I'm like, yes, mother.
Yeah, my mom doesn't really call me anymore. And when I call her, which I call her probably more often, yeah, I definitely call her more often than she does. She never picks up the phone. My mom never hears the phone, ever. Unless she calls you like after 10 times, me llamaste. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that was like 3 days ago,
Don't you
Mom.
see like the little number 10 on your missed calls that I've called you? Like, oh my God. It's like, it's insane. But anyway, when she calls, yeah, my mom is great. Like, I love her. So thank God for Hispanic moms. Thank God for Cuban moms.
Our return policy has expired, so therefore I will keep her.
Well, that's it for us today. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you. Have a lovely, lovely day.
Ta-ta.
Hasta la bye-bye.
Hasta la bye-bye.
Hi, guys. Remember to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at
Café con Leche en 305.
Gracias.